Welcome. It is Scary Saturday Stream. All those S's and all those sibilants. And tonight it is time for Resident Evil 5, Chapter 5-1. It's a short chapter, so we may also get to Chapter 5 too. Welcome, Jeff. Glad you could make it. I know that you've got a stream at 8 o'clock tonight. What are you playing tonight at 8, Jeff? Chapter 5-1 of Resident Evil 5 for Scary Saturday Stream on March 8th, 2025. Jeff is playing Robin Hood Sherwood Defenders, which launches Monday. Excellent. Do these Sherwood Defenders have bows and arrows and maybe some spears and rocks and maybe some ballistas or catapults? Or is it like they're playing on the Forest Moon of Endor and they use logs to turn it? Tune in to find out. Well, if I have made it through Chapter 5-1, that sounds like an excellent idea. I hear that 5-1 is Chapter 5-1 of Resident Evil 5 is short, so we'll see if that's true. So it's March 8th, 2025. This is International Women's Day around the world. It is also the day where there is apparently a huge spike in internet traffic on Google and other search engines and on Wikipedia looking for International Men's Day. But on International Men's Day, there are not women looking for when is International Women's Day. Fun fact. Fun fact. Do not think it is in the United States. You could be right, Jeff. I hear that there are big changes to calendars in the US of A. I know that looking at my Google Calendar today, I did not see in my holidays and observances International Women's Day, but I did see that Commonwealth Day is on Monday, March 10th. And of course, between International Women's Day and Commonwealth Day, there is the return to daylight saving time. Mind you, everyone in the U.S., yes, that's right, at conception, we are all female. So yes, everyone in the United States is female as of 2025. So great strides made for the cause of equality in the U.S. of A. This is also the month of Ramadan. That continues to May 30th. I don't know that I saw that on my Google Calendar. I'll have to check later if they have the start of Ramadan and then Eid at the end of March. March 30th, I think, is Eid this year. All right, so we've got a couple of interesting anniversaries today. We've got a very interesting birthday. At least one of the anniversaries, well, no, in fact, one of the anniversaries and the birthday panders to those folks who would like to redraw the border following events in the 18th century and 19th century. But until we get to those, let's play Resident Evil 5, Chapter 5-1. Okay, the Underground Garden, which we discovered last time, 2 weeks ago when we played. We entered the garden and I thought, well, this looks interesting. I wonder if this will play a role. Let me take a peek. What do I have here? Oh, I want those explosive rounds, that's for sure. Let's get rid of the acid rounds and get the explosive rounds. All right. There we go. I think I've got everything else I want. Need some rifle shells along the way. Oops. I did the wrong thing, didn't I? I removed them. Oops. There we go. All right. Acid rounds, flash rounds, explosive rounds. There we go. All right, that's what I wanted. I was out shopping and picked you up a little something. Oh, that's very kind of you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Is it Christmas lights? Smaller than a Christmas light. The fifth head of the Ashford family begins his research into what would later become known as the progenitor virus. I have consulted with Ace today about some of the viruses, which is connected to the birthday we'll deal with later. Let's see what we can dig up. Okay. Smaller than a Christmas light. Let me think. Is it an eraser? Was Umbrella doing research on these flowers? It's wearable. Oh, so I wonder if it is something connected to St. Patrick's Day. All right, so we don't have an answer on what these flowers are, other than Umbrella was doing research. Well, the question is wearable. So I'm going with something connected to St. Patrick's Day. Okay, can't walk into... Nope, it's black. Can be used anytime, especially when you find time to dip with me. All right, I am going with... I'm going with a thermometer. A digital thermometer that is black. Okay. None of these seem to be doing anything. All right, let's take a peek. Anything up here? Oh yes, we saw Tricell earlier. You wear that. Well, I would think maybe there's a thermometer, that digital thermometer, that would be black. Okay. All right, seeing nothing. Hey, Paul, welcome. Am I afraid? Hello, Aiden. Am I afraid of spiders? No, I'm not. I do think there are a couple of really great spider movies, spider horror movies, like Arachnophobia. And is them about spiders? Oh, there's a notepad. I get to investigate. How are you this evening, Paul? From Chief Researcher Brandon's Journal number 1. Next. 1966. Mr. Spencer once spoke of a flower called the Stairway to the Sun. Supposedly, this flower would give the person who consumed it incredible abilities. Everyone thought it was nothing more than a rumor or legend that Mr. Spencer was telling us, but later research would prove us wrong. Uh-oh. The first person to recognize the validity of that story was my teacher, Dr. James Marcus. He hypothesized that a virus, hereto unknown, this is important when they use hereto, might exist that could alter DNA. The man was so perspicacious. His hypothesis turned out to be correct. There are anniversaries tonight. 2 anniversaries and 1 birthday. The virus discovered in that flower was labeled progenitor. For 3 months in Africa, we worked diligently, fretted over the results, and staved off attacks from the Ndapaya. After such time, our efforts were finally rewarded. This is very purple prose. I have a feeling he wrote it for someone to read. Even Dr. Marcus, who until yesterday looked exhausted, was in good spirits. He wants to return home as soon as possible to delve deeper into his research. I feel the same way. I want to learn the secrets of this progenitor virus as soon as possible. 1967. Oh, more reading. We've hit the metaphorical brick wall. Okay, metaphorical probably wasn't necessary there. We brought the progenitor flower back from Africa and attempted to cultivate it here. The initial culture samples of the progenitor virus have not shown DNA altering characteristics. We cultivated the flower to mass produce the progenitor virus. At first, everything proceeded smoothly. The plants were strong and grew quickly. In a short amount of time, they flowered. What bugs are you afraid of? Aiden asks. I'll have to think about that. I'm not sure. March 23rd. Oh, now we're getting dates. We made no progress. We've tried cultivating the flower under different conditions, but with no luck in triggering development of the virus itself. Thus far, again, important things include thus far. We have tried changing the soil, water temperature, and light exposure, all with no success. I got into a heated debate with Dr. Marcus about the direction this research was taking. During that debate, Mr. Spencer interjected some foolhardy notion of starting a company. Dun, dun, dun. I'm doing well too, Paul. It is the start of daylight saving time tonight, and March break here. So Daniel will be off school for a week, and that means that I don't have to think about getting him to school. So all good things. Okay, now back to the journal. Without the progenitor virus, there's no point in starting a company. Does he not see that? It's all pointless. Close. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that's over. Anyhow, it's pointless. Okay, good to know. All right, there are meager resources here. Video games, a lot of reading in video games. Oh, it's going to take both of us to open this Sheva. Paul, Jeff successfully completed Red Dead Revolver. Hey, Bruce, welcome. Welcome to Resident Evil 5, Chapter 5.1. We started the chapter with a lot of reading from someone's journal that was written with a quill. I'm not sure why in the 1960s someone would be using a quill, but here we are. Okay, open. All right, what's down? Oh, so I should have opened that first. Okay, there's something bad up there. We'll open. Oop, more journal. Oh my goodness, more writing. Oh, he's upgraded to a pen from Chief Researcher Brandon's Journal Number 2. 1968. Okay. The year that Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy were assassinated, and Lyndon Johnson decides not to run for president, and Richard Nixon wins. I'm sure he's going to mention all of that stuff. April 15th. It's been over a year since we've had any breakthroughs. That's why Dr. Marcus and I have decided to return to Africa. We can no longer continue our research without the progenitor virus. I know those routine attacks by the Endopia are really going to rack my nerves, but for the sake of our research, I will persevere. Whew, he's got to persevere. In the face of my unforeseen dismay, it was Mr. Spencer who provided the answer. If you're worried about the Endopia, then we'll just have to remove them from the equation, like all good imperialists do. I can only imagine the look of shock on our faces. The idea never occurred to us. It was quite an atypical solution to our problem, but it seemed to be the only option available. Okay. Dr. Marcus and I decided to try Mr. Spencer's plan. August 19th. Okay. Summertime, 1968. Finally, some good news. We learned they were able to chase the Endopia off their land. The land we acquired only amounts to half of those underground ruins, but if it includes the area where the progenitor flower grows, then there should be no issues. Mr. Spencer said he plans to construct research facilities at the site, which will expedite our research into the virus. We hastily made our preparations to depart for Africa, but Mr. Spencer requested that Dr. Marcus stay in Raccoon City to take over the training center. Ooh, Raccoon City. We were initially taken back by this request, but we soon realized it was the logical course of action. Dr. Marcus needs a calm environment to properly conduct his research. If he were in Africa, there would be no proper facility for him to use at this time. I just hope the African research facilities get built soon. Well, he's certainly not sounding hopeful, but we know from the game they were built. Next page. So now I will go alone to Africa and send back samples of the progenitor virus to Dr. Marcus. Both Dr. Marcus and Mr. Spencer agree this is the best course of action. I have to start making preparations to go. I have a feeling I'll be pretty busy starting tomorrow. Oh my goodness, there's more? I've been in Africa for 2 weeks now. It's a good thing Dr. Marcus isn't here. This place is far from being a paradise of research and scientific study. The so-called research facilities are nothing more than a bunch of tents, and we have to employ armed soldiers to keep the Endopia at bay. Hello, Ace. There's a lot of reading in this game you didn't tell me about, Ace. But the thing that gets on my nerves the most is the sound of the construction for the real research facilities. Well, this guy is just never happy. He's a whiner. He wanted research facilities, and now he's moaning about the sound of construction? Wow. How am I supposed to concentrate on research when everything is threatening to drive me insane? I'm trying to just concentrate on extracting virus samples from their progenitor flower so I can send them to Dr. Marcus. Hopefully, if I focus on my work, I can remain sane in this God-forsaken place. Okay, so he's an imperialist. He's not opposed to genocide, and he's a bit racist. Okay. Also, my friend Lena is here and says hi. Hi, Lena. Bagel Mac is not happy with game. He says you were screen recording the capture card, not the actual game. Okay. I think that's exactly what I'm doing. 1969. June 15th. The research facilities are finally completed. Oh, my goodness. I hope this guy is happy now. This is the real Umbrella Africa Research Center, not just some pile of tents. Oh, thank you, Lena. That's very kind of you. But I've come to a realization in the past 9 months. The facilities are too small for our needs. We need to make them larger, more suitable for research. Oh, my goodness. So he didn't want to go back to Africa. He went back to Africa looking forward to starting the research. He was irritated that they were all in tents. When they started building the research facilities, he was irritated by the noise of construction. And now he wants a bigger research facility. All right, this dude is just never going to be happy. Okay, here we go. The reasons why he wants the bigger research facilities. We can then fill them with more talented researchers. This place needs to be our front line in our progenitor virus research. Our results will do a great service to Dr. Marcus and his viral research. In a rare turn of events, that old skinflint Spencer actually agreed with me on this. Okay, dude, if Spencer agrees with you on something, I think it's a bad sign. Okay, read the document. Okay, so you told Bagel Mac that if I have since I have 1.7 million views on TikTok, I must know what I'm doing. Which, I have to say that's very kind of you. Another document, telegram for James Marcus. Ooh, wait a minute. I thought telegram paper was yellow. T-virus development a success. January 13th, 1978. Okay, and wait a minute. Buddy was complaining about research facilities in 1969. Telegram is from 1978. All right. All right. So I saw slithering things. It's another paper. Invoice copy. Oh, this gets more exciting. This is like the beginning of episode 1 of Star Wars. Trade War. Umbrella Training Facility, Dr. James Marcus. 5 cases of the progenitor sample. December 15th, 1977. Okay. But wait a minute. As we move down the hallway and get closer to the center of the action, we are getting more clues. It's just like Huckleberry Finn. Stay on the river. This game takes place in 2009. He also noticed you only have 480 gigabytes free on your Xbox. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that was an issue. I may have only 480 gigabytes free on my Xbox. Which means I could load lots more games. Investigate. Somehow I don't think these are for Mother's Day. Oof, I didn't think this would be a holiday game either. Investigate. Okay, same. So if you're here, Ace, does that mean no D&D? Oh, power on. Well, let's see what could possibly go wrong. Sorry, it's your computer, not Xbox. An email to an acquaintance. Hey, I know this is sudden, but I'm going to be getting some time off soon. Okay, this can't be that insufferable Brandon. We've completed most of our work on the new project. Sorry, you know, but I can't talk about it. I'll talk about work. So they're giving us some time off as a reward for all our hard work. All the staff are leaving tomorrow, and we'll finally be getting out of this country. I'm heading straight back to Arizona, and I can't wait to get home and see everyone. I bet we're going to discover that whoever wrote this email did not, in fact, get home to Arizona. More than that, I think I'll just be happy to get away from the high and mighty Miguel. Guy thinks he's some sort of super genius. Miguel's a guy that sits next to me at work, and he's a good researcher and all. Don't get me wrong. Okay. No D&D tonight. It's ice and stream, ice or ice cream, and stream with a friend. He's got some good ideas and is good at noticing details, but every time he opens his mouth, he just goes on and on about how great he is. You can't even begin to imagine what torture it is to hear that day in and day out. I wish we made a sedative I could give him. Okay, so dude seriously has some ethical issues. But forget all that. What matters is that I should be back home within the next few days. When I get back, I'll give you a call. We got to go out and get smashed. I could use the break. Ice cream. It is ice cream. What flavor ice cream? Talk to you soon, Ryan. Okay. Well, that was nice to open. Okay. Where if we go? I have to imagine that those scratches on the wall are a bad sign. Oh, can't open this door, so only one way out. All right, back to the Bigelmax comments on the graphics capture card and how much memory on the computer. Are there helpful hints in that for me? What could I do differently? Lots of power panels. Ooh, nice. Handgun ammo. Okay, I think you need some, Sheva. Oh, but it wasn't available for you. Okay, need a key there. Ooh, big heavy door. Not a good sign. Are you farming? What's something you're afraid of that's not a bug? Wow. Deep water. Afraid of deep water. Oof. Torn apart by animals. Not a good way to go. That could be an understatement. All right, what do we got here? Pull lever. Ooh. Yeah, I saw something too. Investigate. Are we doing more investigating? Oh, back to that again. That is scary, Jim, because I never go in the deep end. I am not a strong swimmer. Okay. Are we going back out the door? Oh, we're investigating. Investigate. It can't be opened from this side. All right. Didn't we just come in that way? Not a strong swimmer. Is that why you don't want to do the polar bear plunge with me? You now have a Speedo. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that you were thinking about my swimwear needs. No, I figured I was just going to go in over my head and then come back out in the polar bear plunge. So that didn't even the ability to swim didn't even come into it for me. Okay. Ooh. Scary things. Animals. Maybe Jim should use this. Take a swimming class. Teach them not to be afraid. I have I have looked into to swimming lessons, but the time commitment is just beyond me at the moment. Oh, green herb. Excellent. Full. Okay. Sheva. Whoop. Whoops. Oh, more of them. All right, I have an idea. All right, Sheva, come on back here. All right, B, you pick up. Oh, nice. Gold and Lionheart. Oof. Can you imagine if Jeff is Jim's teacher? That would be hilarious. Oh my gosh. Jeff would be merciless and he would video everything. All right, we were in here. Wait, were we in here? Of course I video everything. I learned that from Jim. Gold. Do. A lot of doors and reading in this level. Oh my gosh, there's going to be more reading in here, isn't there? Nope, no reading. There's a safe. Okay, let's... Oh! Gold. All right, and there's a gun case. Open. That does look like an AK. Oh, 74, so the later... All right, interesting. How do I manage this? All right, what am I going to get rid of here? No, I don't want to do that. All right. Discard. Pumpkin pie. Ooh, I love pumpkin pie. All right, I've forgotten how to change weapons. There we go. Yes, I saw pumpkin pie. I do love pumpkin pie. Ronix. Nope, nothing in these boxes. Oof, what's over here? Checkpoint. Ooh, nice. What's your favorite pie? I am a big fan of just apple pie. What about yours, Aiden? Ooh, another switch. This will no doubt lead to something bad. All right, what does it actually do? Oh, that can't be good. There are things on... Wait, Reed is not here. No, Reed's not here. Jeff is here, Bruce is here, Paul is here, Ace is here, you're here, Aiden? Okay. Right, so if you walk...
Guess their senses are weak.
Their senses are weak.
Just to be safe, you should be as quiet as possible.
They're going to summon Reed Watch. Well, no kidding. Whoops. Well, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Whoops, uppercut. I think there has to be a more efficient way to take these guys out. Whoops. Lion's Heart, another Lion's Heart. Machine gun ammo, I definitely want that. That's a good question. What made Jeff want to be a streamer? Okay. Investigate. Ooh, this may take a while. Is that elevator here yet? Nope. Had cookies as hands. Okay, can we get Sheva? Okay, now would be a good time to grab some. Now loading. Spencer founds the saving. Okie doke. Had cookies as hands. That's interesting. All right. Let's.
Give me an herb.
Use this.
All right. Oops, wrong one.
Come on.
I can't right now.
All right, I'm just trying to. There we go. Did I get the?
You grab it.
Okay.
Take it.
Roger.
All right.
Thanks, partner.
Okay, what did I do here? Hey, Jim, I think you learned to be a Twitch streamer because I did. I did. Jeff was doing it, and I thought, what a good idea. This would be something fun to do. All right, so let's take a peek at. All right, handgun ammo, hand grenade, incendiary grenade. Let's combine those. All right, do we have no? We appear to have no first aid spray. Yes, I was learning stuff from Jeff. Yes, and he provides helpful hints all the time. Cutscene, so is there a boss battle coming up? Ooh. Lots and lots of things in there. Probably bad things.
The pictures, too.
Wait.
Uh-oh. He says Jill. The alarm goes off. Some capsule opens. Someone falls. What have they done? Oh, he's running to the computer because that's what we do. Oh. Searching for Jill Valentine. Let her go, dude. What if it was called Resident Peevil? That would be hilarious. Access floor. Oh, look at that. The whole floor moves.
There's so many. They must be kidnapping people from all over the world to experiment on.
Ooh, kidnapping people from all over the world. That's either good or bad. Access denied.
Why?
Jill doesn't want to be found.
That's why.
Oh, said pumpkin. Favorite pie is pumpkin. Whoa! That's pretty grim looking. Whoops. That was a great sound. Wow. Okay. Well, time to fire up the old death counter. 1. You made a great sound. Oops, indeed. Yes, all I had to do was dodge, which seems like a metaphor for life in North America these days. So let's do an anniversary in the interim. Today is International Women's Day, and the first leader to proclaim March 8th as International Women's Day was Vladimir Lenin, and he did it on the anniversary of the women's bread riots or food riots in Petrograd in 1917, which kicked off the February Revolution in Russia. So the first of two, you could say 2.5 revolutionary attempts in 1917, but things got rolling. When the women in Petrograd, the textile workers said, "Enough of this. We want peace and we want bread." And a week later, Tsar Nicholas II, at that point considered the most powerful and autocratic leader in the world, far more power than any other leader in Europe, abdicated just a week because the women went on strike and said, "We want bread and we want peace. We want food for our families, and we want our husbands home, and we don't want to be doing this murderous work all the time." And so in 1918, Vladimir Lenin said, "Hey, you know what? We should call that International Women's Day. That should be the date." And then eventually people agreed with them, and March 8th is the reason we celebrate. Or sorry, the bread riots in Petrograd are the reason we celebrate on March 8th. Two notable revolutions that begin with women rioting for food: the French Revolution and the February Revolution in Russia. Hello, William. Welcome. Glad you could make it. We are playing Resident Evil 5, Chapter 5-1, and I have just died, so you come in at the right moment, William. Of course, you see a lot of this on Monday nights in Red Dead. Okay. Organize. I definitely want that first aid spray. You have great timing. You have the best timing, William. Organize. Explosive rounds combined. Okay, I think 12 is my maximum there. All right. I'm going to need some more machine gun shells. Did you ever play D&D? I did not, William. When I went to university, there were a group of folks I hung out with, and everyone played D&D but me. They were also the same people who had all read Lord of the Rings, and I had not. All right, anything else I need in here? No. No, I think we're good. Okay, let's go back to it. So yes, William, if you're wondering why I am the dull, uninteresting person that I am, it is lack of D&D. But Ace does, so at least someone in the family has redeemed themselves.
Take it. Roger.
I'm going to suggest that Chris's arms suggest that he's a little dehydrated. He really should find some Gatorade or a Canadian substitute. I have faith in you, Jim, unless handling dynamite. And thank you, Will. I think that's very kind of you and also very fair of you. I will not be the one handling explosives. Sheva has all of the hand grenades. So I'm pleased that the character who's now plummeting to the bottom is wearing underwear, but I'm not sure that it's really necessary in those pods. Here we go. Let's find Jill again. Actually, you know, this would be a good game to play on February 14th. All day, Resident Evil 5 for Valentine's Day. Who wears underwear, says the guy who is negotiating an underwear sponsor. Anne is here. Welcome, Anne. Anne, I wouldn't say you missed any good Russian facts. I'd say it's more international, but has a Russian origin. In 1917, on this day, women in Petrograd protested. Oh, excuse me while I take care of this again. Let's see if I can dodge this time. So women in Petrograd went on strike for bread and peace. Left. Wait a minute, I pushed left. Oh my gosh, now I sound like Jeff. RE3 would be better on Valentine's Day, since that's the one where Jill is the main character. I assume you're LMAOing, Will, because I did sound exactly like Jeff there. So, Anne, March 8th, 1917, women of Petrograd protest. The Tsar has gone a week later, and in 1918, Vladimir Lenin proclaims that it should always be, March 8th should be always International Women's Day. Because before that, the date moved around a bit. I thought he was present for a sec. We have very different reactions to dying, Jeff and I, but that injustice of pressing the button we're supposed to press and things not working the way we expected them to, I think is a universal thing.
Jill might be here.
Jill might be here. Okay, we're going to see. Who doesn't love a holiday started by Lenin? Well, I wouldn't say he proclaimed it. Let's say he just proclaimed it. This is the day.
What have they done?
Which sounds kind of Mandalorian. And you'll be happy the next two, or the next anniversary and the birthday are both American. And I think you'll be delighted by both. But one does have a Russian connection. All right. Let's turn around quickly and dodge this time, Jim.
There's so many. They must be kidnapping people from all over the world to experiment on.
What if they weren't kidnapping? What if they created them? Dun dun dun. Access denied.
Why?
Because of that.
That's why.
Okay. We're going to dodge as soon as I see the trigger button. Oh, it's both! Oh my goodness! I just got it. It's both. What if you missed left again? All right. So I was premature in blaming my reaction time or the controller. Apparently, I should have been blaming my eyes and brain for not getting things quite right.
Take it. Roger. Take it. Roger.
So that's what it means with the LT plus RT on the screen. Wow. Oh, wait. I haven't kept up with my death counter. I'm at 4 now, right? Oh my gosh. I'm behaving more and more like Jeff all the time.
This is in the pictures, too.
Wait. That means Jill might be here.
Excuse me. And Jeff has mentioned that he picked me up something today. I thought it was Christmas lights, so that I have the chance to tear them down at my own house, but no, apparently it's a black Speedo.
What have they done?
What have they done? Yes, in conjunction. So I guess that means then that Jeff and I can pretend to be German tourists on a Greek beach any day now.
Jill.
I'm just going to comment that moving that whole floor seems like a big waste of resources. If that's not a hot tub, invite Jim. I don't know what it is.
Kidnapping people from all over the world to experiment on.
Yes, yes. Red Dead Online from the hot tub. All right, so now we're going to find out if I'm pressing the triggers together or tapping the triggers together.
That's why.
Let's try tapping. I'm going to tap early and often. Nice! Oh, a checkpoint, good. Oh. Didn't tell me to dodge. All right, can we take out the legs? I think taking out the legs would be a good idea. If I can aim for the legs. Okay, all right. Let's wander around this way. Okay. Oops. All right. Chris, dying. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sheva. Oof. Too many limbs. Here. Run away! Oh! Thanks, Sheva. All right, this lack of cover is a problem. He's down. Woof. Did I do it? We did not wear anything in the hot tub. Jeff has reached the mountain. Jeff lives on the mountaintop. Whoa, it's back? Oh, no. Whew. All right. The world's worst elevator ride. There had to be a simpler way to design this. This is over-engineered. It's empty! Who could have foreseen that?
How nice to finally make your acquaintance.
Who the hell are you?
So like Yoda. She works with the Tri-States.
Ooh,
You've done your homework.
Sheva knows her.
The Global Pharmaceutical Consortium.
Global Pharmaceutical Consortium. That sounds like a conspiracy.
Weren't you two given orders to retreat? So it was you.
Where is Jill?
Jill, even if I did know, you think I would tell you?
Cut the crap. Tell me where she is.
As soon as you two are done with your little vigilante mission, you should leave.
Oof.
There's nothing here worth throwing your lives away for.
Wow. Nothing here worth throwing your lives away for.
Lying.
She ended with a participle. Preposition. She ended with something she's not supposed to end with. Preposition. Whoa! Enemies routed. Deaths. Oh, okay. I only died 3 times. I ripped myself off. All right. All right. Accuracy. Okay, that was better than previous levels. Enemies routed. 3. Deaths 3. Okay. All right. I'm feeling good about this. Conspiracies are how I explain the world. You know, without... Conspiracies Are Us. That's got to be a website now. And then people can have fun with it. Is it Conspiracies Are US? Conspiracies Russia? Oh my goodness. Lots of possibilities. Well, I'm quite happy with that round. 3 deaths. Big ass critter at the end. Jill is nowhere to be found. So that can only mean one thing. We're going to find out more in 2 weeks when I play Chapter 5-2. Now, I promised or alluded to another anniversary that was U.S. and Russia connected. So let's get to that anniversary. On this day in 1983, so if I do my math correctly, 42 years ago, Ronald Reagan at the National Association of Evangelicals in the United States called the Soviet Union an evil empire. Dun, dun, dun. And of course, how things changed after the evil empire speech. It ceased to exist, and then went back to the Russian empire, acquiring all that land they lost. Is it a spoiler to say we're closer to a deal with Russia than NATO? No, William, and I expect any day a certain leader of a North American country is going to start the clock ticking on pulling out of NATO. So there's a 180-day cooling off period, warning period. Jeff hosted an evil empire speech in a Speedo once. Dark times indeed, Paul. Dark times indeed. If Jeff is doing an evil empire speech in a Speedo, especially if it is a black Speedo. Paul is well. Well, I think Jeff is live now with. Oh my gosh, I can't remember that. I should have written down. So the birthday for tonight. I think it's oddly appropriate considering part of the, some would say, the darkest times. Indeed, dark times. The birthday tonight, oddly timed in with, or an interesting connection to Resident Evil. And the birthday is from 1841. Now, hold on. How is there a connection with Resident Evil from a birthday in 1841? On this day in 1841, Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. was born. Great orator, great writer, Supreme Court justice. He served 30 years on the U.S. Supreme Court. He retired at 90, the oldest person to serve on the United States Supreme Court. Served at a time when there were many interesting cases to decide on and important issues. Contributed to or led judgments on antitrust legislation in the United States. Some interesting decisions around Teddy Roosevelt's desire to expand the United States. That brought him into conflict with Teddy Roosevelt, the president who nominated him. Lots of stuff on free speech, free expression, criticisms of the Espionage Act, which included, I believe one of the cases touched on whether or not it was a crime to criticize the United States government. Thank you, Aidan. I appreciate that. I'm glad you could join us. But here's the tie-in to Resident Evil. In 1927's Buck versus Bell decision, Oliver Wendell Holmes, writing for the majority, it was an 8-1 majority, said, by all means, states, go ahead and have eugenics legislation and practices and force people to be sterilized. So eugenics was, there's a large eugenics movement worldwide at the end of the 19th and early part of the 20th century. And Buck versus Bell codified eugenics as a part of American law. And here's the connection to Resident Evil 5. Some of you may say, this is weak stuff, Jim. But of course, and I checked my research with Ace earlier, the desire to find or desire to develop the viruses were based on creating super soldiers or stronger, healthier humans, and to create the perfect human, much like eugenics laws. So while Oliver Wendell Holmes has an enormous body of work that has been influential, many folks would, and I would be one of them, would be horrified at a Supreme Court encouraging and supporting forced sterilization. In Canada, forced sterilization generally, I believe there were still some that happen, but as a point of, or as a piece of legislation, I think the last legislation was overturned in Alberta in the 1970s. Someone can check on that. So yeah. There's the connection. And Ace has popped in. The bioweapons were created to fund the creation of Wesker. Okay, so I should have read from the notes you sent earlier, Ace, and I'd be on top of that. I'm trying to riff. I didn't quite get it right, so I'm glad you jumped in on that. So the anniversaries tonight, the Petrograd women's strike in 1917, 1983, Ronnie Reagan, Zap. You have to be old like me to get that joke. Called the Soviet Union an evil empire, and in 1841, Oliver Wendell Holmes was born.